I like socks. Pepperoni is not good for you. Economics is my hobby. We are the world. We are the children. Make a joyful naked. We're saving our lives. It's true to make a better day. Just you and me. Wow, wow, wow.
The Jackson 5, being a tightwad and beating my kids like a drunk. But you really shouldn't beat your kids. It's just they do so many damn things make you mad. Like swell up when they poop up. Then you got all of them so you have a matching set. That's why I'm so glad this new toy came along. The Joe Jackson Kids Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Yes, now you can beat my kids too. Beat all the Jackson kids. Beat Michael. Hit him so hard you'll knock the white off him. Boys talking about a skin disease. His skin been bleached more times than Madonna's mustache. Beat that stank Latoya. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. String her up by her funky weave. And sucker punch the hell out my Preston finger. Tito! Hey, Tito! You wanna go a few rounds? Like my blood up again, Dad? You got that right, boy. I will hit you so hard, by the time you stop rolling, your Jerry curls gonna get back in style. Compared to you, Woody Allen's Father of the Year. Good shot, son. Too bad you can't knock the talent into somebody. Oh, I tried. Lord knows I tried. Well, I got you this time. That's for scaring Michael, and that's for cheating on Mom. Oh, watch out, son. And most of all, that's for letting me Tito. Look, I want.
Damn, J-Lo.
Boo 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 boo. Do 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 do. Oh, that is going to throw me off. Do 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 do. Good morning, Erica. DJ Hams is in the building. What up, DJ Hams? Yes, Cheese Denver looks at the comments. That's not what he does. Miss KK's in the hood. We got about 2 minutes before we get this thing officially started. Special guest Ed Moore is in the hood. Looking forward to chatting with Ed this morning.
Ed Moore.
Ed Moore.
Good morning, KK, with your pigtails.
Good morning, Cheese. Good morning.
Is it still your birthday?
It's February. My birthday's in January. It was last Friday, exactly.
Oh, I want to say happy birthday again, and I can't. I'm mad at myself.
I am here.
Oh, why you black out? You blacked out.
Did I?
Black out. Yeah, you blacked out. Yeah, you did. You blacked out.
Alrighty, let me hit this intro, and then let's get this thing started.
My crusher's not connected.
Your what?
My crusher's not connected. My headphone's not connected, so I don't know why it didn't automatically connect.
Do you want me to walk you through it? Do you want to use it or final answer?
My feet cold.
Don't I just need to turn it on and it connects?
No, you have to hold it down so it can pair. So final answer. Do you want to use the headphones?
I don't have to use the headphones. I mean, I'm doing fine without it.
Okay.
It'd be better without it. Okay, thank you.
Running the intro.
Party people. Cheesy. Unique.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up? Yo, yo, it's Unique and Cheese. Here we go. It's Unique and Cheese. Let's start the show. It's Unique and Cheese. Here we go. It's Unique and Cheese. Let's start the show. Ha!
That was cool, right?
Was super awesome. How did that work for everybody that time? Was it like clipping or did it like flow all the way through?
It flowed all the way through.
It was like an on flow and it just flowed right through her.
No, it's like when you cut on a faucet and the water flow.
Water flow like that. Okay,
Yes,
I like water flow.
You do?
Okay, cool. Because StreamYards, which is the program that we use to broadcast this thing on, they did some updates and stuff. So hopefully playing videos and stuff will be a whole lot easier. So hallelujahs. Anyway, good morning, Mr. Cheese. Good morning, Miss KK. Please talk to the people and say your greetings.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hallelujah.
Good morning. Welcome to February, everybody. I'm glad you guys are all safe. Thank you for joining us.
Awesome. Music level, is that good? Like, you know what I'm saying? Can you hear the music, but it's not like in the way?
You're breaking in and out for me.
Going in and out. See, I'm trying to figure out why that iPad
I want him to
doing
go
that.
in and out on me.
And then it said Jay Dizzle is in the hizzle. That's my nizzle for shizzle. What up, Jay Dizzle? So same thing on Kira's iPad. Didn't it do the same thing? Like the sound was going in and out?
Yes.
Maybe the StreamYard doesn't work very well on
It
iPads.
doesn't have as a strong a pull.
We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Anyway, so thank everybody for joining us. We got a special guest. We friend to the neighborhood. He was on our show when we were doing it just straight to YouTube. He's a well of information. You know what I'm saying? If I ever want to find out stuff that's happening in type A, type B, type C world, I call him Ed and be like, Ed, what you think about this? And then have him break it down. So let's bring Mr. Ed into the neighborhood. Good morning, Ed Moore.
Good morning.
Good morning, ladies and gents.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh man, thanks
if
for
you
having
had
me.
to if you had to briefly just give yourself your own bio, your own introduction, could you please introduce yourself to our family here online?
I'm an old school black male alpha, and I was in entertainment business doing movement, choreography, artistic direction, and dance, artist development for a long time with major labels, major artists. I have a heavy background in education and politics in my family, so it's been really kind of a thing that I've carried with me for a long time, is being involved in black political arenas, economic and education circles. So outside of the professional career in the industry, I stick close to black topics and economic topics. And
That's amazing that you grew up in a household where that was important enough to keep it in the conversation all the time. Like, did you guys have like around the table dinner talks? Like, was it just one-on-one? Like, how did they get the information to you?
well, it was everybody in my family is college graduates except yours truly. I went to film school, paid for my own film school outside of it, but everybody.
Wait a minute. First of all, can we please give a round of applause to the to the black family that everybody graduated from college? Like, people act like black people don't go to college. You know what I'm saying?
No, literally, I'm the only person, even in, kind of like almost my extended family, even pretty much most of my cousins, have some type of degree, and if not, they definitely have a hardcore fresh hustle. So it's, I was fortunate that education was really important to both of my sides of the family, both my mother's side and my father's side. Both my grandmothers are very educated. I have a lot of military and police in my family, so I just kind of have this kind of disciplined base. And I'm, like I said, I'm the only person that kind of didn't go all the way with education, I kind of detoured into entertainment. But besides that, it was pretty much all about, politics and money.
Was y'all's family reunion? Is it fun? Are y'all like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all
It
around the
look,
table?
it seemed like it'd be real serious. Like, hey,
Hi.
pass me
Well,
those.
no, it was really good. I mean, we still had fun. There's
Word.
still a lot of music, a lot of dancing, a lot of music. I got a lot of musicians and stuff in the family too. So we had a lot of fun. But my father was a business owner, and so business was every day. Including on him and my mom having like regular jobs as well. My dad ran a business. He's a jeweler by trade, and I grew up at jewelry stores and jewelry shops and watching my dad, take raw materials, turn it into something, and sell it at a profit. So I learned at a really young age the value of business and the value of a trade skill and getting a trade skill. It's what drove me to go to learn how to make film, so that I could always have a trade, something
Me,
to
me and your life is two different worlds. You asked me
Right?
the same question. My dad was a pimp, a slave, and alcoholic.
And you see the difference of what happens.
He didn't go to school. He skipped that
Hey man,
part.
you got a show and I don't. So there.
Hey man,
But
That's good
anyway,
that
that's
you.
that's kind of the base where I kind of draw most of my stuff from, is from my family and those things that were important then. And everybody was very active when it came to black issues.
hey
So
Nice.
man, that's
Now,
beautiful.
I would say
black
one thing
issues were
that
always on the table.
that one thing I've observed about you, I feel like you have like a thirst for knowledge, a thirst for information. Now, your
Yeah,
family
it's
had the influence
important.
on you, but when did you realize you got to a point where I really like this, and you like, you know what I'm saying? This is when you discovered that you like to learn more
Right.
than being told to
Yeah.
learn. Do you know when that happened?
Yeah, it happened really young. It happened super young. It was I can actually remember when too. It was had to be maybe fourth grade, fifth grade, fourth grade. And I used to always have these weird questions. And I still have all these questions all the time. I question, the existence of dinosaurs, the existence of aliens, the existence of the moon landing, the existence of, Adam and Eve. I was always questioning these hard questions for me as a kid, as to, well, if Adam and Eve were the only two people and they had Cain and Abel, how did Cain get, banished to the land of Nod, and there's a whole bunch of people there? Where'd all these people come from? That was
Word.
important to me. If there's no gravity in space, but the Earth has a gravitational pull on the moon, how come there's no gravitational pull on anything between the Earth and the moon? Those types of things. I question those things.
That's a good
And I
question.
constantly had these, things. How come dinosaurs were never talked about pre 18, you
I
know,
know.
50 something? They're not drawn on caves. They're not drawn by cavemen. We have all types of animal and cave drawings, but we never have a
Absolutely.
dinosaur drawing. So I
It,
question those things.
is it
And
is
these are
it
the
is it in the Bible too? Is it in the Bible? No.
no, none of that, none of that. So these are, just when I was really young, I was constantly causing the teacher to have all types of issues with
I
me,
feel you.
constantly questioning, well, what about this? Or why don't you explain this? Or why don't you explain that? So it sent me on, searching all the time, searching all
Right.
the time, searching. And then I started realizing there's a lot of lies, and there's a lot of people lying to us about our history, in our books, about the world we live in, about the systems, about all of the systems. And then I had more of a thirst for knowledge. I began to get introduced to different black scholars like uh, Dr. Ben, Joseph Johekinen, Sheikh Anta Diop, John Henrik Clark. And I was introduced to Thomas Sowell really early, Walter E. Williams really early. And these are like really great black scholars. Francis Crease Welsing, Sister Shahrazad Ali. These are really powerful, smart black people who are not lying to their people. There's a lot of black people lying to their black people, but there's a lot of black people telling you true things. True things about who you are in terms of historically in the world, and in terms of spirituality and science, medicine, technologies, and on and on and on. And there's a lot of other people who are not giving you these real truths about the world you truly live in. So it was at that time when I really started digging and digging and digging and digging. I kind of was going into a lot of these conspiracies, but you know, they're quite eye opening when you learn that, you know, taxes are unconstitutional and nobody should be paying.
Word.
You know, so those, you know, and that just kept pushing me for knowledge.
Would you
In my
say
travel.
would you say the more you find out, the more excited you get? Do you get jaded? Like the more truth you know, are you like, man, what is really going on? You're like,
Yeah, I mean, it'll piss you off to start learning a whole lot of stuff, but at the same time, I feel much more content in having the knowledge, whether you can necessarily do something about it or not. I know a lot of people don't really search for knowledge because a lot of people are like, well, what can I do? You know, I'm just me and it don't matter, so I'm gonna stay in my bubble. But I like being aware. You know, I like having more information so that I can be and discern a better decision on, you know, left or right or here or this or that other. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an anti-vax person, but I'm also a pro get all the information that you possibly can on every single thing before you make a decision. You know, don't just follow that doctor because he says he's a doctor, because doctors will lie and cheat and steal and kill as well as tell the truth. You know, it's a crapshoot on what you're going to get. You're going to get somebody who actually cares about your health, or you're not. You're getting somebody who's just selling the drugs. So, you know, I'm pro education, I'm pro knowledge, I'm pro be as much as informed as you can. Even if some of the information, it's up to you to discern whether I believe this or I believe that, or I don't believe this or don't believe that. But don't discount information and don't take it, because then you can't make an educated decision, you know. So I'll take the information from left if people feel like, well, this is what's true, and I'll take the information from over there and say, oh, well, this is what's true, and I'll put it together and find my middle space to make my decision.
Word. And once you make a decision, and you feel like it's a pretty educated position, and then you offer that information to somebody else, and they just like, nah, that's not real, that's not true, whatever you're talking about, whatever. Hey. Do you try to convince them, and you're like, oh, well, you know, peace be to you, you'll figure out?
No, I mean, if they're open for it, if they're like, hey, you know, show me more or blah blah blah, I'll let you go. You know, there was a time when I used to look out for people. Now I just look out for people.
Word. Understandably. So two of the things we want to get into today are our finances, and since it is the month for Black celebration, some Black history. Also, nice. I saw this funny meme.
Black facts.
I saw somebody this funny meme somebody posted, and somebody talking about it's Black History Month. It's like, no, it's not Black History Month for us. It's Black History Month for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because we're supposed to be learning about this stuff anyway on our own. You know what I'm saying? Just within each other. So this is a celebration for the non-Black people to find out what Blacks have contributed to this country and to this world. So I thought that was a really funny meme, because I was like, that's kind of should be true.
Unfortunately, Black people don't learn about their own history all year round.
No, we don't. No, we do not. The older I got, the more I got into learning more things. But when I was younger, you couldn't tell me to read no book. You would have gave me a book, it would have been holding up a table or something like. Right. So I'm glad I eventually started liking it, but before it was a no-go. So before we get into those topics, we like to chat about things that happened this week. The first thing that comes to mind with me is has everyone seen the video of the 9-year-old girl being pepper sprayed by the Rochester police? Have we all?
I caught that.
It's terrible.
Now, did you see both videos? There's a short one and then there's a long one, and we watched both of them. And on the long version is when the cop first arrives. And you can hear the mom. No. When he first arrives, he tells the little girl to come here because she's about.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So why was the police called in the first place? That's what I don't understand. What happened? They
said that the little girl was threatening to hurt her mother and herself because she was upset about a fight that the mother and her stepdad were having.
Okay.
So she's 9 years old. She's upset, but the family calls on her because I guess she's telling her mom, I'm going to kill you. Or I'm going to kill myself. Either way, she's threatening suicide and she's threatening her mom.
Right.
So when the police show up, the little girl's about maybe 10, 20 yards away from the police. And he's like, come here. We all have children on this page. we know that the children aren't going to respond to you while they're upset the way that you want them to respond, because they are their own individual human being, and she is upset because something is happening in her house that she, you know what I'm saying, had the police called on her. You got to think about how serious that situation is.
Right.
So she is upset as much as a 9-year-old can possibly be. So, hey, come here. No, I don't want to have to chase you. No. He starts walking towards her. She starts running away a little bit. I don't want to have to chase you. It's cold outside. No. Finally, the little girl doesn't run anymore. She stops. And then the officer catches up to her and immediately grabs her. Not in a super aggressive way, but in a I don't want you to run away way. But this little girl is upset. This little girl don't know you. I don't know you, random police guy. I'm mad. I can't see anything except for the fact that I'm mad. He's asking her what's wrong, not getting an answer at first. And then eventually she says, like, I hate her. Immediately she starts talking about mom. The officer doesn't listen to what's wrong, because I would feel if he was there to help the situation, he would be a better listener per se. And he would have heard that what she said about the mom. You know what I'm saying? So that should have been the line of questioning. Should have went there, but it went more. She's trying to get off me. You know what I'm saying? You in my personal space, cuz I don't know you. I don't know you, Crip, cuz I don't know you like that. And you in my personal space. So you can see her trying to get away. So the more she's trying to get away, the tighter his grip get. Already, you know what I'm saying? This is almost like step 3. I'm watching it like, I don't think you should have did that. I'm at step 3.
Yeah, we know where this is going.
We know where this is going. You're egging this on. You don't know how to de-escalate situations very well, sir. All right. By this time now, mom comes across the street. To me, watching the whole video, that focus should have went to mom, because this is the adult in this situation here, cussing this little girl out like she's a grown woman about to fight her in the street. Like, that's how mom is talking to her. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is where you live?
Wow.
That's your mother? You came out of her body, and that's the person that's supposed to comfort and nurture you, and that's how she talks to you? I was like, whoa. It was mind-blowing to me how she was talking to this child. I can see even talking to a 17-year-old or something like that. Still your kid, but they can handle it more. But she is cussing out and threatening to beat up and drag this 9-year-old child, while the police officer is right there. So you know she don't care about none of that stuff.
Oh, I feel so bad for her.
I feel bad for that little girl too, because not only now she's even more upset because here's mom doing mom thing now, going back at me again. Some people are driving up the street. I guess they were being nosy because, if you saw that happening, if you nosy, you're going to be like, what they doing over there? Like, turn up. So mom is super like, what y'all looking at? Y'all want some? You can get some too. You can get dragged. Yo, this woman don't care. All in front of the police, and this woman does not care. So I'm just thinking, this is what this little girl knows. This is what this 9-year-old girl knows. This is how she's supposed to respond and react to situations, because this is what I was taught, because this is what mom does.
Absolutely.
So eventually they tell mom, you need to go back across the street, and we'll take it from here. You need to go back inside the house. Now, from right there, I'm like, why didn't y'all send the little girl back into the house and stand outside and talk to the mom? Like, I don't understand how the little girl is taking the brunt of this. I know they called it on her, but if you showed up and assessed that situation, like, something's not right here.
Yeah.
A 9-year-old don't show up to Earth all messed up and angry, and they don't show up like that. You know what I'm saying? She was built like that. And now you can see what built her. So they get the little girl to the car. The little girl doesn't want to get in a police car. She doesn't want to conform to what they want her to do. All she's screaming for is, I want my dad. I want my dad. Because none of you are my parental units. None of you, I don't know you people. Yeah. And you're telling me what to do, and you're hurting me, and you're grabbing my arm. Now you got me laid on the ground in the snow. It's mad cold outside.
A child.
This is in Rochester, New York. A child. A 9-year-old child.
Not an adult.
Not an adult at all. Not even a teenager. Not even a preteen. But for some strange reason, they love to treat us like we're older than what we are. But anyway, so she's all on the ground. They pick her up now. Now they got her in handcuffs. Now they want to sit her in the back of the car. She don't want to go in the car. They're threatening to pepper spray the little girl. The little girl is just not being compliant to what they want. There's like 7, 8 officers out there. 2 of them are basically trying to put her in the car. But why is there 7 officers here? Why is it so much? This is a 9-year-old child. Anyway, so eventually they get frustrated and are threatening to spray her with pepper spray if she doesn't get in the car. She still doesn't want to get in the car. A guy on the side says, just spray her already. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually they spray her.
That's hard. And you said it was over 8 officers. Not one of them thought for one time, wait a minute, this is not right. Let me intervene and
My assumption is the final female officer that was there, she might have been that person to start that, but she didn't finish that way. You know what I'm saying? They all need some patience training or children training or something. You know what I'm saying? Them little kids ain't just gonna do what you tell them to do. Look at the environment that she's in. Help that child. You came there to help that child. They need to figure out a way. I don't know if it's in the budget or not.
They didn't come there to help that child. They came there to arrest someone. That's what the police are there for. The police are not there to be child psychologists. You call me, I got to get somebody. That's my job. Why is there 7 of us? Because that's the protocol when you call us. That's how many show up. We don't care. So the real issue is not the police in this situation. The real issue is first, who called her? Who called them?
Yeah. I think mom
that's
called.
The first mistake.
Word.
Who called the police?
Word.
Don't call the police. Because when the police show up, they're not here to solve problems.
No, you're right.
That's not what the police are there for. So to be thinking that, oh, well, you know, maybe they need some kind of training. Maybe she needed home training and it's not up to the police.
Word.
It's not up to the police to raise children and deal with mental people. Their job is to come get your ass when you call. And that's the only reason why I came here. I'm not coming to save a life. I'm not coming to help you. I'm not coming to serve the public. I'm coming because somebody called me. I'm here to get a criminal, get a perp. I'm here to get that. That's what I do. So don't expect me to be here doing none of the rest of this crap that y'all would like for me to do. That's your job.
Word.
Not mine. My job is to get perps. Get called, get somebody, put them in something, take them downtown, get them booked, and I get my credit for that. And that's all it is. And that's all it is. And that's all it is. And that's all.
So with this
it don't matter if you're a black cop or a white cop. Don't matter what color cop, Hispanic cop, Asian cop. They're all going to be the same. It's not going to be, now there may be somebody who has a lot of heart and they really try. I come across police like that all the time. But the first mistake when it comes is, one, you called them. All the adults in the neighborhood couldn't figure out how to get this situation under control. You talk about raising a village. The village raises the child. The next door neighbor couldn't come out and help before you called the police. Somebody else couldn't get called. You didn't call your cousin or your auntie or your grandma first to pop up first before you go to police. Is this 9-year-old girl got a gun in her hand, a knife? Is she that dangerous? Is she 5'9", weigh 150 pound 9? No, she's a small 9-year-old girl. She's not a threat. So whoever called the police on her in the first place is the problem. That's the first problem. Second problem is, who taught this young girl how not to deal with the police? Nobody taught her how not to deal with the police. Even at that age, you need to start learning your child on this resist arrest shit. I'm going to pull away from the police and I'm going to snatch my arm away and I'm going to say I'm not going to do what you want me to do. It's as if we're training our black children to resist at all costs, no matter what. If you see the cop, don't fuck with him, deny him, push him away, fight him, resist him. You're being a good black person if you resist the police. You can get your arm broke, pepper sprayed, thrown in jail. You need to teach them how to shut the fuck up, don't say nothing, let them do whatever they're gonna do and have your day in court. But that's not what we're teaching. So that's why a 9-year-old child is doing what they're doing. That's why grown men and women do what they do. You see it all the time. Black girl getting body slammed while her mama watches because they think it's a joke to just pull away from the police. And, no, police shouldn't be doing what they do, but it's what they do. So either black folks gonna learn how to deal with it, or you're gonna just keep getting dropped on your head and you're gonna keep getting mad. You're gonna keep getting dropped on your head and you're gonna keep getting mad. Or you're gonna allow your attorney, see, black folks don't know nothing about having attorneys, private shit, where You do whatever you want. I'm gonna get you in court. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, plead the fifth, because you never answer questions to police. You never say shit to police. Never talk to police. Never answer. Go to jail. Get your call. Get your representation. Get your day in court and get the fuck out of the problem. But we don't teach that. We teach F the police and we gonna fight the police. You know, this is our duty as black people to resist police. And you get dumped on your head, pepper sprayed, shot, beat up, and you don't get your day in court and you don't live. You don't live. That's what's important, is to live, not struggle against the police for pride. And I'm proud to be, you know, F the police attitude. That's going to get you killed. And it's better to be alive. Use your brain instead of your emotions. So that's how I feel, you know.
But
I feel sorry for that little girl. I feel sorry for the 9-year-old little girl.
Let's remember also too that a lot of people do exactly what you're saying. Like they don't resist and they still die. So
true,
you know.
True. I can't deny that doesn't happen. So, you know, I'm just saying that there's far more people that get arrested and booked in prison than they do than die. Otherwise, there wouldn't be millions of people in prison. So the police arrest people and they go to jail far more than they kill you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So yes, your chances of that are still a chance, but they're very, very slim. You know, the jails are packed full of people, and that means that police are able to apprehend people without killing them. They can prove that. I can prove it to you by the amount of people in prison.
Right.
There's far more people in prison than they are dead by police. So yes, what you're saying is true, but it's a smaller chance that you'll get beat up and killed if you just do whatever. Just take the direction. Take the direction. You're far safer than if you do not take that direction. Do not take those commands. And the simple thing is, don't answer no questions. You can still resist the police by pleading the fifth. See, the fifth is a great way of preserving your life because the police antagonize. They want you to talk. They want you to talk so they can push you, so they can say something to you, so they can get you angry, so they can, you know, get you fired up. So I'm going to push at you and ask you more questions. And when you answer the question, I'm going to use it against you. The best way to do it is just be quiet, shut up. And that's it.
I'm gonna go back to something. I'm gonna go back to something that Erica said. Would it be able to like allocate some of the funds to have crisis situations? And you know what I'm saying? Because we all know, even if you want people to grow up in healthy households, like mental health issues are a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I also I don't understand when police are called to help with a mental health issue. Because we all know that they're not therapists and psychologists. So should there be a department that is like the therapist or the psychiatrist or the mental health crisis police per se, that maybe could handle that situation more without the I need to arrest somebody, like more of the I'm here to help somebody. I mean, if we're going to spend all this money on all this other stuff, why not have a division that specializes in that?
I mean, I hear it. It's a good idea. I think it could be a good idea to try that.
Word.
And the only thing we can do is find out if that works.
True.
You know,
nothing wrong with trying.
You know, we could try. Mental police are not really trained for mental situation, but your social worker is not really trained for an armed and dangerous mental patient.
Word.
So we've got two situations. Maybe they should go together. Maybe the social worker and the police should go, and then the social worker tries to do what they do, and the police make sure that the social worker don't get slashed or shot by somebody who might actually need to be dealing with the police.
Gotcha.
So it's a fine line. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, you've got some people where police can't even handle some of these perps. They roll up and the police get beat up.
Word.
You know, it happens a lot. These police are scared to death. That's why they're shooting first, because they're not being trained to handle, you know, close quarter combat. They have no clue about close quarter combats or how to subdue or, you know, apprehend people without deadly force. They're not being trained. Simple hand to hand.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, there used to be the nightstick. They pull it out and then they know what to do with it. Now they don't know what to do with that stuff. They're terrified. You know, they just trying to make it home, and they'll shoot first and let everybody else sort that shit out.
TNT had a special yesterday before the NBA game started, and they was talking about these two officers about what we're talking about with this young child. And one of the officers said what Ed said, that maybe they should have some type of training to defend themselves before to say, like he said, to be so afraid they want to go home than just use the gun and kill. So they can, some type of techno defense like karate, judo, whatever it may be, something to have in their caliber that they don't just resort to the bang, bang, bang right away,
Bruce Leroy training.
That would be great. I'm familiar with a gentleman who teaches martial arts, and his job was to train the police.
Yeah.
But there's you're dealing with like special units, gang units, SWAT, and blah blah blah. But your everyday black and white is not getting this specific type of training. You have to get to a certain sheriffs deal with it, or certain little special groups inside the police have these people who really come in and really teach them how to really do CQC. And other than that, they're not there for that. They're simply not there for that. And I appreciate how people care about people to the point where we need something better for people to, people need to come and we need to talk to these people. Then we need to have another number to call. It's not the police's number.
111.
It needs to be something else. If we got an issue and we need some help and there's people, don't call 911. There needs to be another place to call first.
Word.
Because if you call 911 and you get the police, you're not going to get what you want. You're not going to get somebody to come in and talk. You can, because that's the individual police. I know a lot of police who will do that. I've come across really great police. I've come across some really bad police as well.
Word.
So it really depends on what you're going to get. That badge is not a monolith situation. Not every cop is the same as the other cop. Like I said, it's a gamble what you're going to get. You roll in the dice on what you're going to get. You're going to get somebody who really cares about people, or you're going to get somebody who doesn't at all.
Yeah, because it's like when you call, like for instance, if I have to call for some type of immediate help and it's nothing like criminal, like for instance, like if my child is misbehaving like this child, and I don't think that's a call that officers should be able to get. That should be someone else.
Not at all.
Yeah.
9 years old.
Yeah, because it's not a criminal.
And if the police can't apprehend a 9-year-old child, y'all can't all grab her and just put her in the damn cuffs. She's 9 years old. But now we've got police scared to even engage.
Word.
Because now we've got the situation where as soon as you touch somebody and do something, you're liable to get some type of suit or, police brutality situation and this, that, and the other. They pepper sprayed the young girl, and now what? Both officers and 2 officers involved have already been let go.
3 got suspended.
You got in trouble. You see what I'm saying? So now you're going to have a lot of officers that are just like, we're not even going to respond. Y'all deal with it yourself.
Could you even imagine getting that phone call like, my child is acting up, they're going to kill me, they're going crazy. Well, okay, calm down, man. How old are they? She 9. I'd be like, what? Hello?
9?
I'd be like, 9. Put her in timeout. Goodbye. Like,
you should be able to handle that.
Yeah, you should be able to handle
somebody
that.
Somebody should be able to handle that.
Yeah.
But again, we saw how the mother acted when
she was way out of pocket.
So maybe this 9-year-old child really doesn't have that much of a choice.
I mean, the way that her mama was talking to her, I think that 9-year-old girl probably got hands. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure she had to fight her mama a couple times.
But wouldn't they look into it about the home situation? Maybe the mom is not capable of taking care of this child if she's like how you were saying she was talking to the child. Maybe it's some type of abuse there, and the little girl couldn't take it no more.
There's definitely some verbal abuse going down there in that household, and probably some physical too. If she's threatening to stab her,
and verbal can be
situation.
Verbal can be worse than physical sometimes. You know what I mean? So that I think that's for children's services.
Word.
That sounds like a call.
You don't pepper spray no 9-year-old girl. Those cops are wrong.
You don't.
Period. If you can't handle a 9-year-old girl, get the fuck off the force.
Word.
Yeah.
But the main thing to me always goes back to mom. You know what I'm saying? I really think mom was the one in this situation who she's done the most dirt, because whatever caused you to have to call on your daughter, you know what I'm saying? You already lost control of your house.
Man.
You lost, so it's always going to come back to mom for me. And the kicker is now mom is suing. What she's saying, she probably is going to sue the police station now in the city. I'm like, what?
She need to sue herself.
She need to sue herself.
put myself in jail. No,
I started this, so it should end with me too. I'm like, what the hell?
She's trying to get money. That's all about money now.
Oh my
She
God.
don't even care what happened to her
it
daughter.
does have a small reflection on the home, though. You know,
Yeah.
I guess it was a mom and a stepfather, but
The
she
stepfather.
she wanted her dad.
She wanted her dad. Yeah.
Her dad.
She wanted
So,
her dad.
as you can
Yeah.
see, there's an issue with the breakdown of family
Word.
right there. You know,
Yeah.
right there. You know, there's obviously not. I'm not. You know, every family doesn't have to be a complete nuclear family like that, where it's mother and father in the house together. But it does need to be mother and father working together.
Word.
Amen.
It has to be working together. The father doesn't have to be physically living in the home, but he needs to be in the life daily. And that's hard sometimes because there's irreconcilable differences between parents.
Word.
You know, sometimes parents cannot get along. Sometimes they do not get along.
But it seemed like
for. You know,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying, but it's hard to maintain sometimes a close parental partnership when you have parents in irreconcilable differences.
Yeah.
Hear that?
It's really hard.
Yeah, but it seemed like that we can at this point. I'm sorry. At this point, that they can get together and say, you know what? I know we don't get along, but your daughter needs you. Can you come over here and figure this out with me? You know,
I would say by the way that the way I heard mom communicate, she's not at that level of
no.
She's not at that level of having a decent conversation. You know what I'm saying? She's far. I'm pretty sure grandma probably live upstairs. She probably was yelling out, "Y'all shut the F up, make all that noise down." You know what I'm saying? So
instead of calling the police, they could have called her father. You know, somebody should have called her dad.
Yeah,
somebody should have called her dad. Come get your daughter. I'm on my way.
Instead of calling the police.
You make it seem like DJ Unique. Everybody cursing in that situation, even a dog. Rawr.
I'm telling you, watch the whole video. Watch the whole.
I watched the short one.
When you hear
me
mom
too. I didn't know moms was like that.
When
That's
you hear
terrible.
mom going off on her daughter, you'll be like, "Whoa, yeah, man! They got WWE going on in that household.
That's
like,
sad.
It's no joke." So, I'll send my heart out to that smile child.
Yeah, we need to pray for that child.
Amen.
And pray for that family. That whole family needs prayer.
Because if it ain't just that 9-year-old, then you know what I'm saying. Everybody got a little bit of juice going on.
She's just children are just sponges.
Word.
They're just sponges.
Absolutely, they are.
Children only regurgitate what gets put in them. That's it.
That's right.
That's it. They, 9-year-olds are their own mind, but their own mind of what's been put in.
Absolutely.
They didn't come up with any of it themselves.
Yeah.
They didn't come up with that.
Yeah, because I have an 8-year-old, and I couldn't even imagine you even calling the police on a child like that. I mean, like, it's no way, it's no communication that you can talk to this kid, even if they.
Okay, let's say he's coming at you with a hammer, and he's like, you can see the fire in his eyes, and he really want to hit you with this hammer. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to try to 2-piece him, or are you going to be like, let me call the authorities?
Let me explain to you what I would do. I would gracefully grab the item away from him and hug him, embrace him, and just keep telling him, "I love you. I love you, son."
What if he's biting your neck?
Well, I can't even imagine that because my son is loving, but I would just be praying and holding my child until he calms down or she calms down.
You might need an exorcism situation like that.
You know what I mean? I would do it and just keep holding the arms and not to hurt him, but to be aggressive enough so he don't hurt me or I hurt the child, and just keep love until they calm. Because at a point you're gonna calm down. Because love heals everything. That's to me. That's how I feel. Love, especially when it's your child. If they know you're a loving person, then like y'all said, it was no love in that house or something. I'm not there to judge, but it seemed like there was no love there because if the mother is cursing still while the officers are there, something is going on. It's a challenge there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's definitely not the way to handle that.
You mentioned I'm glad you have a reference of an 8-year-old because until just now, I didn't realize how young this child truly was for being 9, knowing an 8-year-old. as a reference, wow, the maturity, the innocence, barely a third grade. I'm thinking of my children when they were in that age.
Innocent.
They're so little.
They babies still to
Dude,
me.
a
They're
grown
babies still.
adults that are approaching this young 9-year-old child, 7 grown uniformed officers to be coming after. But I mean, I'm sure you guys have covered all this, but going back to really what this child was doing when she was 1 and 2 at a backyard party at the age of 5, when she was twerking, everybody was laughing, everybody was having fun, everybody was praising her likely. Because, you know, at 5, you tell a kid, you treat, you know, you have candy, you know, they could be quieted really easily. They let this child likely not disciplined at all. They thought they were doing what they were doing because everything was easy. And at some point in time, when this child was no longer able to be happy through the things that she knew how to be happy with, it just wasn't enough. That candy wasn't enough. And now she's like, hey, if it isn't my way, then I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get whatever I want from the experiences that I had from my past, it feels. Because that child was never disciplined. No one's going to be able to control that unless like a father figure enters, maybe give her a big hug, because there's no words that are needed in that situation. You just need to hold that child and just hold that child.
Amen.
Say I love you, you know, say words that are encouraging.
Right.
That, you know, I don't know how old this mother was when she had this child, but it seems like it's another, you know, history repeats itself. Dysfunctional family, that's like Edwin said, that's what they do. You see, and that's what you repeat, you know, but the disciplinarian, authoritarian say doesn't mean much if their actions that they lead with is different from what is communicated. So words really, you know, we're all old enough to understand words don't mean anything if there's no actions behind it. And this child, 9, they're pretty set in their ways because I heard by the age of 5, your personalities and your ways are pretty set. So it's a lot of work that is needed, but somebody needs to really, really step up. I cannot imagine even my 18-year-old stepping up to me and me being scared, because we raised our 18-year-old, we raised our 16-year-old, we raised our 14-year-old. We're not scared by, and they know
we'll jump them.
Those things to even begin with. They know not to disrespect parents in a certain way. I mean, I've had talks with my children where I said, no, those things you just cannot say that's disgrace. You know, that's very disrespectful. And they understand that, oh, okay, that's not to be that. So help this 9-year-old kid, pepper spray referencing an 8-year-old boy. I'm thinking like, wow, that just blew me away just now. And I'm just thinking it's another human being versus
No, it's a baby.
Oh my God, a kid.
Yeah, it was
a baby.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see what happens with the lawsuit and all that. I don't think she should sue. I think she's wasting her time. You're an idiot, and people looking out for the money grab. Now, Ed, were you on? I also work with Ed on the High School Nation tour. Also, were you on the tour when Silento was an artist there?
Yes.
So meeting Silento, because if you guys don't know, he's been arrested this week and he's been charged with possibly
who is that?
His cousin, the guy that watch me whip, now watch me nay nay. It was a song that whipped nay nay. Came out.
I heard of the song, but I don't know who the person is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so he was the kid. He was basically the kid that made the song.
Okay.
So he was the headliner for the High School Nation tour for a couple of the runs. The kids still knew him. He was still, relevant to them. The whole watch me whip nay nay thing was still very prevalent in their life. So it was good to have him on the tour. I didn't hang out with him a whole bunch, just enough because I'm saying it's an age difference. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hang out children. It's like hanging out with a child. He's grown in his own sense, but you know what I'm saying? I'm double his age almost. So, I don't want to hang out with y'all. Anyway, but just a short meetings I would have with him, or I would see him in the gym. He would come in there with Uncle sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Just kicking the stuff or whatever. Didn't seem like he would have mental health issues. Because his family is saying that, you know, he's been fighting depression and he has mental health issues and yada yada yada. I mean, doesn't give anybody an excuse to kill anyone. Allegedly, this is all alleged. This is alleged.
Oh
Uh,
Lord.
but I thought about it as because I think that Whip Nene thing happened when he was like 14, 15 years old. So here's this kid that grew up super poor, didn't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then now he has the world just given to him right away. And I was thinking, man, there's no kind of training for anything like that. Like, how are you prepared for nobody knows you to everybody knows you? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like his thing has been streamed over 1 billion times or something like that too. Think how big a number that is. Like, this is how many people has had exposure to this kid.
Mm-hmm.
He was on. I remember seeing him do the Whip Nene thing on Ellen. You know what I'm saying? So you went from nothing to having everything to all of a sudden now you don't have basically nothing again. I can see how that can destroy someone. I can see how that can really really hurt somebody to a point where he murders. I don't think so. But what do you guys think about that? Like people who grow up basically in the spotlight, especially going from having nothing to having everything. What mental toll do you think that takes on a human being?
Again, it starts with the foundation of the family around that person.
Word.
And you know, and knowing that it don't matter, you know, who you are and what you do, how much money you make, that you got people who love you, that's around you, that raised you right. So
Word.
you know the certain things not to do. But then you got these kids that comes from these communities that I come from, that, you know, being violent, being ignorant, selling drugs. That lifestyle is praised. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know the whole situation. I don't know if he shot someone. I don't know. Or allegedly.
What they're saying that he shot this guy was his cousin. He got shot in the face and shot in the body. Like this guy like shot and murdered, and he got murdered. And the police got people's video footage from their home security systems, and I guess that's how they got the information to be able to arrest young Ricky Silento. So it's all still alleged. I don't know. I didn't see the video. I wasn't there. I don't know. But they seem pretty confident in arresting him. So that's when I saw the story like Thursday night. I was filming something. I came across my screen. I'm like, what? It came so far from the left.
That's so crazy.
Far from the left. I tripped out when I saw it too, because you don't really from what I gathered from Silento, he was a real peace dude. He wasn't even about no type of. I never felt that energy at all. So. Something, you know, again, hopefully we kind of find out what exactly was it about, you know. Ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter, because it's not something that, again, this kind of celebrity stuff, sideways stuff. What kind of does matter is the reflection of how deep can something drive Black folks to kill each other, even family. That's the real issue. That's the real issue. Right there. It's not even about Silento, to be honest with you. It's not even about something. It's about, this is highlighting. Now that he's a celebrity, young, this, that, and the other, you can imagine when you're not a celebrity, you're not famous, and you get into an argument with family or friends on the street. This is a highlight right now. Silento is a highlight of the energy and the attitude and the environment and climate in the Black community, period.
Yes.
Period. It didn't have to be Silento. The only reason why we're hearing about it, period, is because it is Silento. This shit happens every day, multiple times a day in multiple places in this country. Every day, a Silento situation happens. Every day. But we don't hear about it because they're not Silento. But the fact that this is, and now we're confused, is, wow, what would drive this kid? Now you apply that to everybody in the hood. What would drive this kid to kill his friend, cousin, stranger, blah, 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 whatever, you know?
Even
is it mental? Is everybody in the hood mental? Are we all mentally messed up? Is it lifestyle? Is it just savagery? This nigga, I don't give a fuck. I'll kill anybody killer. Like, we have to start figuring out what the issues really are. It all goes back to family. It really does. At least I
imagine that. Imagine that. I think what it is, and I think a lot of us don't show value, not only to Black life, but just to other life. Like, because you think like when you kill somebody, you're taking them off this planet. You are stopping their life. So you think so little of them that whatever you're going through, you have to take it out on this person because they made you upset. They made you whatever the reason is. You think so less of them that you will make them cease to exist.
What I don't understand is like you think so less of them that you were willing to pretty much stop your own life by doing
True that.
the crime that you're doing. So it's sounds
Yeah, you're going to jail for error.
Yeah,
you know,
everybody loses.
You ruined your own shit.
And when it comes to your question about somebody who had everything and then they lose, will they, how do they recover? I think people can. It all depends on how you achieve that everything. Were you that one, overnight wonder that just happened to have been seen by some celebrity who thought, wow, let me put this person on? It could be that it was so easy for you. You had it all. But you never really worked for it when you lost it all to know how to get back there versus somebody who's put 10, 15, 20 years in their own trade. And then all of a sudden, everybody says it's an overnight, but really it isn't. You have that 15,
took a long time.
And this person, chances are, if you work that hard to get there, you might, once you get there, you might make a mistake because, wow, I really have it, and make some wrong decisions. But you knew the steps to get there. So chances of you getting back up, not necessarily at the level that you were at where you had it all, but chances of getting to somewhere near or even around, I believe is a possibility. It's just work. If you put in the work to get there, it's inevitable you're going to be able to get back up there.
True that.
Right.
True that. Well,
it's unfortunate. Silento he seemed like a cool kid.
Like a good kid.
Yeah, he really did seem like a really good kid.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate. When I saw it, I sent it to the homie Lamar. Lamar was like, WTF, the exclamation point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For real. It was really a trip.
It was far from the left. Far from the left. Like, what?
Yeah, that shit came out of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't seem the type.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens after that. Also this week, we have Kanye West being sued by over 800 people for the mistreatment of his Sunday service show. And when I saw this, it felt like a money grab to me. For those that don't know, turns out that members of his Sunday service choir, along with hundreds of crew members, have filed 2 separate class action lawsuits against West for allegedly mistreating them. This is according to Page 6. Attorney Frank Kim is representing more than 500 performers in one lawsuit, while attorneys at Harris and Rubo are handling the lawsuit filed by approximately 300 crew members. What they're saying is that for his Sunday service program and also the opera that he did, basically some people worked long days. They didn't get paid overtime for it. They didn't. There was breaks that they didn't get to take. So basically, they worked a really long day, is what it sounds like to me. I don't know what was in their contract. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if their contract said I get this break and I get this break. I don't know if their contract said I'm supposed to get paid this amount and maybe they didn't get paid that amount. I don't know what their contract says. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't do it for the Lord.
You would think they're supposed to do it for the Lord.
Damn. So I've been owed a lot of money. I was an usher for 10 years at my church. I didn't get paid. I was putting people in their seats. A fat lady shouted, stepped on my new church shoes. This ain't gonna work.
Ain't gonna work. So I really feel like they got their hand in his pocket. They say, oh, he's worth how much? Well, how come we had to work for so long if he worked so much money? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so Kanye West didn't hire any of these people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he has a staff of people who handles this staff of people. I'm pretty sure we can all attest to sometimes we worked a job before where it was a long day. I was tired. We didn't get to take a break because there's something that we had to accomplish. We had to get it done. As an artist, I know artists have been in a situation before. We're like, man, we probably could have took a break, but you didn't because you had to keep practicing because we had to get the show right. That happens sometimes too. So when these people said that it was like the worst, it was a terrible experience. And I'm just like, oh, how good is your life?
Did you just leave? They couldn't just leave? Like they act like they was forced.
If they really wanted to, they could have just left. They were like, I don't have to put up with this. I need my 15-minute break, and you could have took off. You could have, but they stayed. So to come back now and be like, nah, you owe me this because blah blah blah. I'm like, come on, y'all. Is this how everybody wants to get on? Is just by suing somebody who got so you can get? I don't know. I couldn't relate to this situation because I know I've been in harder working conditions than them. Unless Kanye West was walking around slapping them on the booty with a baseball bat. You know what I'm saying? They didn't put that in the suit though. All they said was they missed some lunch breaks and they didn't get paid some of the money that they was promised. Is this
have they put a number? Have they put a number on it yet? Have they said for how much he's being sued?
No number yet.
They haven't put no number yet.
I haven't seen a number yet.
I would just say, welcome to the entertainment business, baby. This is the type of stuff that happens. You know, you can get a 30-day, a 60-day, or a 90-day deferred payment. And you're going to get it, or you're not going to get it because COVID hit and everybody got hurt. So he did the Sunday service for 2 years and
$30 million.
COVID hit you.
30 million.
30 million is what they want. All right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of overtime. That's a lot of 15-minute break. That's a lot of overtime and 15-minute break.
It is a lot
for real
because he was flying them to all these places. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and this is all coming out of his pocket. He wasn't paying. Nobody was paying for Sunday service.
No,
what did they
nobody
say?
was paying. Those tickets. Those tickets weren't enough.
Word. So they
has been getting sued since he started blowing up, so he's numb to the law.
Yeah, that's what somebody said in the line, which is true.
Yeah,
it's true, and it actually kind of is peanuts. I'm sure it'll get worked out. I'm sure those people will either get paid or lose their suit. It's peanuts to Kanye. It doesn't matter. Again, in the grand scheme of things, this is kind of nothing. You know,
See, when I first
go ahead, KK.
Sued and how many people were suing, how many people got together saying, hey, they were mistreated. First thing I thought was like, wow, this is something that Kanye West should be praised for employing all these people, having all these entertainers be on his Sunday service to be a part of. Because I know DJ Unique, ever since he's known of it, he's like, man, I wish I could attend. I want to be invited. I want to go. He wants to experience. And I don't know if I think he has a couple of friends who is connected in some way to be able to be invited. But
yeah, Tony, get us some tickets.
You know, these people wanted to be a part of it, and then one person probably started saying something, and the others are like, yeah, I'll be with you. I'll sign that. Hey, I'll do this. Chances are it's bandwagoners. Likely, there's few. Yeah, they're probably not happy about it. But I'm sure they loved it when they were a part of it, when they, behind the service, getting it together, whatever this was. It's with Kanye West. So anything that goes under the resume saying Sunday service, Kanye West, this is what I did, it's a plus to you. So you come later on when it's not happening during the pandemic, maybe you're not doing as well. So maybe this is the man, a go-to person to be picked on, Kanye West right now. But I was like, wow, that's a lot of people that he had working with him. I don't have a lot of good things to say about or bad things about Kanye West, but I thought
it's possible for artists not to pay their bills.
True.
It's very possible that he does owe them their money. And they're going to go to court and they either going to win or they ain't going to win, Right. But in the entertainment business, it's very possible that very rich people with a whole lot of money don't pay their bills. Happens all the time.
Happens all the time.
There's a lot of artists that I'm not going to say no names that I've worked with, and y'all didn't pay y'all bills. That's why don't nobody want to mess with you no more. You can't get good work because you ain't paying your bills. So, it's very possible that these people have a valid gripe, and I guess we'll just have to kind of see, you know what I mean? But I'm not surprised that there's a whole bunch of people looking for some money. Because
I do not believe that they're not valid. Period. I just don't believe that all of them.
Exactly. Yeah. All 800. Yeah. Every single member of the band crew. And I mean, to me, I see it as, hey, COVID hit and everybody needs something. Let's go definitely all work together to try and go get this little bit of guap that he either owe us or he don't. But, whatever. Obviously, I feel like they think that he does owe it because obviously they've got some time frame, and it's very possible. Not everybody pay their bills on time all the time.
If I was, if I work for one, if I work for him and I'm not on that lawsuit paper, my name not on there, I go to Kanye and be like, I didn't sue you. Can I get $5?
I was telling them not to do it. I told them not to do it. I can't believe them, yay. Can you believe them? Let me get some of them new Yeezys. I'm just saying. Anyway. To switch gears just a little bit, we're gonna pivot just a little bit. I'd like to get your take, Ed, on what you think about Jeff Bezos stepping down as the CEO of Amazon.
Who cares?
Word.
Who cares?
Like, will that affect
you?
them?
Also Jeff Zucker. Jeff Zucker is also stepping down from CNN. So two very powerful CEOs are stepping down at the same time. Both later in the year, they both announced to step down, but they're not effectively stepping down now. They both said later in the year, to be determined or to be announced. To me, I see the Amazon move by Jeff Bezos is he's freeing up his time to do more stuff. He cleaned up more money than he ever imagined in 2020. So the COVID thing put him so much deep in the money. He ain't got to sit at Amazon. He ain't even got to think about Amazon no more. He ain't got to think about how it's going to run or who's going to run it or what's going to run or whatever. I'm about to just collect my check. Him stepping down from CEO doesn't mean that he's not getting his check as the actual owner of the company. So, I think he's interested in politics. I think he wants to go the way of the Koch brothers or the George Soroses and Alex Soroses of the world. And I think he wants to put his money into politics and social issues, and he wants to free up his time for that.
Word.
He's going to make bread regardless. He doesn't have to be CEO.
Word.
He doesn't need it.
Hey, Ed, I was wondering, do you know anything about the GameStop thing? What was your take on that?
My take on it is, I applauded it. I was happy. I was like, this is pretty awesome for a bunch of people to get together and manipulate how this stock is going to move. It's completely first. Here's my thing. Here it is. I got questions about it. One, is it legal? That's my first question. Two, if it wasn't legal, then that means there was insider trading going on. That means people at Robinhood, at GameStop, at Citadel are all working together, right? Is it really the little guy, the little people like me and you who trade options? Or is it really the big guys doing this madness and then trying to push it over and say, oh, it's these little guys who are trading options to put the shorts? For me, I feel like there had to be a whole lot of money put into that situation to make that stock move. And I don't know how many people you're going to get in Reddit, like if Ed and Cheese and KK and Unique are like, oh, I just heard on Reddit. Here, let's all follow this. Let's all follow this. You know what I mean? How many people do you really have to get to put a significant number in making that stock move? And it also happened in shorts and puts. So shorts and puts are not quite the same. Short is when you are obligated to sell a stock at a certain price, a piece of a stock. An option, a put option, is you can have the option to sell a contract of a stock. It's not even a real full piece of a stock. When you buy a contract, you get 100 little pieces of shares of a stock. Now, you are not obligated to sell that stock, but shorting, you are obligated, which means if you say, I'm going to buy a short and I think it's going to hit 115 from 120. It's at 120, it's going to go down to 115. And if it does, it has to sell. You're forced to sell that. That's a short. A put is where you are not forced to sell that. You can choose whenever you want to sell the put. Whenever you want to sell that option. If you want it, you can. Otherwise, you can lose it all, make no money, or just let it go and let it go to zero. Let it go down to zero. So my question, truthfully, is who really did it? Was it the little guy? Or was it really just Citadel bankers, Robinhood, big trust fund people?
Yeah, they said it started from the little guy.
And they're trying to get it off of them and put it on. Oh, it's Reddit people. Oh, it's the little dude. Is that really true? Well, I'm waiting to see if that's really true or not. Because it feels like there has to be some serious coordination at Citadel and Robinhood, And then you also want to find out, my next big question is, what is Janet Yellen's relationship with Citadel?
Who's Janet Yellen?
She is the Federal Reserve Bank commissioner, or
She the one that got signed in
what
my
exactly
Biden.
is, yes, who used to be in the Obama administration.
Word.
She was the Fed. She worked at the Fed. So I don't think she's working at the Fed now. She's doing something else. I don't know what she's doing exactly. But I know that she took $800,000 from Citadel, which is the hedge fund that's behind Robinhood. And now she's in control of looking into the situation to find out if there was any
Mm-hmm.
wrongdoing. Seems like a conflict of interest for a person who just took $800,000 from the hedge fund that's backing Robinhood on the whole GameStop thing. So
Mm.
I'm still like, to me, I'm still, the jury's out. I don't know if
Word.
this is regular Joes like me and y'all, or if this is really more insider trading, major, major corporation manipulation. So if it's
I,
just the little guy, I applaud it. If it's just us, me, you, and the rest of the team, I applaud it, because these hedge fund guys, they manipulate the markets all day, every day. They make stocks go up and down and up and down and up and down. They're mad because they didn't make this happen. They're not mad that it happened
Mm.
because they all still made money. They're mad that they're not the ones who made this happen. They weren't the power behind
It's the little
this
people.
this shift. That's what the real problem is. Is we're not mad that the stock shot up and it shoots back down, because if you own stocks, you're either going to sell it when it went high, you're going to hold it when it drops, and you're going to wait for it to recover. If you're otherwise, if you also are owning the game stock and you see the drop, you just buy puts to make your money back. You'll make your money back as your stock value drops. You'll be making money pulling it out of the option. So the people who really have bread and really have GameStop stock, they didn't lose anything.
mhm.
That GameStop is going to go up, it's going to go back down, and it's going to go back to normal where it was. And anybody who had and owned that stock, if you hold on to it long enough, it's going to reset and go back to where it was. You will not have a major loss. So yeah, go ahead. You want to say?
Yes, I have a question now. We know that through this past 2, 3 weeks, GameStop and I guess with the movie,
AMC.
there was a lot of people made a lot of money. Who lost
Yeah.
in this situation? Who lost?
Any the only who lost are the people who won, people who got scared and sold their stock. It was a shake. So when you put shorts, there's a lot of stocks being dumped because it's forced. So basically, what supposedly happened is everybody started putting in a bunch of shorts. We're shorting the stock. We're going to short the stock. So everybody's putting thousands and thousands of dollars on to short the stock. And what that means is, as soon as if you say you're shorting a stock, whenever you set that number of what you think it's going to be, the stock's going to sell and it's going to dump. So if you've got thousands and thousands of shares being shorted and they hit the number and you've got thousands of shares that just get dumped, sold and dumped off, that's going to tank that value. That's going to make GameStop stock just drop like a stone. Now,
Mm.
all stocks eventually recover. So the people who lost are the people who panicked, stock owners. If you own the actual stock, you started seeing it crumble, you start seeing your value, and then you're starting to sell it, trying to sell it off. Because the very next day, within the last 3 days, it's gone up hundreds of dollars and gone down hundreds of dollars and gone up hundreds of dollars and gone down. So the winners are the people who are buying it when or selling it when it's at its top, and the losers are the ones who are selling it panic selling. Oh my God, I'm losing all the value. I'm losing all my value. I'm losing all my value. It was 200. It was 100. Now it's only 50. I got to sell it so I can make something. But in a week, 2 weeks to a month, it's going to be back up again where it was before all of this even happened. Because that's just what it does. It's going to go back to where it was, you know? So those are the people who really the people that claim they lost are these hedge fund people who are also in the speculative business. And now all of basically, so let's say you have to go to a buyer and a broker. The people who lost the money are the brokers who are now getting all the calls from the stock owners who are like, what the hell's going on? We're losing all our money and you're losing all yours too. But this is only if those same brokers are not involved with the actual manipulation, which is what I kind of think. I think this is a high level thing and not actually a Reddit low level thing. This is what I
Mm.
personally think. But if I'm wrong, that's cool because I'm happy if it's the low guy. If it's the little guy that did this, I really am cool with that because one, it's legal. We can speculate on a stock dropping legally, and I can get as many people as I want to say, hey, y'all follow me and we do this. Let's do this. But I know that it's not peanuts. It takes a lot of money to short a stock that much. You're talking about thousands of people putting in tens to $20,000. You're not getting in there with $100, $200. You got to have at least 10 grand, 20 grand to really do what happened at GameStop. So you're not going to get in with 200, 500, and make that happen. That's not going to happen. And you have to do it with shorting the stock, which means you're actually shorting the full stock and also buying puts in the option. So it feels coordinated to me. If the little guy is coordinated, great. I think that's dope. But it feels like there's some nefarious jumping off going on between Citadel and GameStop and Robinhood. It feels like there's, because it only happened on Robinhood. They were only on Robinhood doing it. They weren't on E-Trade. They weren't on, Thinkorswim, Ameritrade. They weren't on any of the other platforms. It was Robinhood specifically. So why was it only Robinhood? Why are we in Reddit? And why couldn't I do it on E-Trade or somewhere else? So it feels very coordinated. It feels very planned. And we'll see what happens. I don't trust Janet Yellen being the person to find out what happened when she's got 800K in her pocket from the people she's about to now, let me go see if y'all did something wrong. So I don't know.
What do you think about the fact that Robinhood froze that stock so that people couldn't buy? Is that legal?
I don't think that's legal. I really don't. I don't think that's legal. I mean, I don't see how, and only GameStop did that. I mean, and only Robinhood did that.
Yes.
While Robinhood was freezing it, you could have went over to Ameritrade and trade. So it seems kind of not ethical. It doesn't seem right. But again, I don't really know all of those types of rules right there on what different platforms can do, because every individual platform has its own thing. I don't even understand why they did it on Robinhood. Robinhood's like the worst trading platform, period.
Why is that?
Because the way you get your money, if they freeze your money, it doesn't go right into your account. You have to wait a certain amount of time before you can get your money back out of your actual winning or your actual gains. So, I don't understand why they even did it on that. That's what makes me question it even more, because Robinhood's not a great trading app, actually. Not very good.
So for that type of service, because I think people like Robinhood because of the simplicity of the service, are there any other apps that you would recommend? Like maybe this might be a different, just to check out. Like you don't got to give your stamp over.
There's quite a few. I'd actually have to get back to you on that, because I used to go through a bunch of them. There's actually a few of them, but I'm strictly Thinkorswim and E-Trade.
E-Trade.
So I go to E-Trade and Thinkorswim. I like E-Trade's.
Thinkorswim is an app.
Thinkorswim is actually the Ameritrade app, but it's no longer called TD Ameritrade. It's called Thinkorswim.
Thinkorswim. Okay.
The app itself now is called Thinkorswim. It is no TD Ameritrade app anymore. They changed it over to Thinkorswim. So I deal with them and I deal with E-Trade, and I feel like those are the best for, on your phone and doing what you're doing. If you're not dealing with a broker or calling somebody else, I think those are the best. Robinhood is not really, it's simple, but getting your money not simple. E-Trade and Ameritrade, as soon as I get my gain, I could take it if I want it right then. I could take it and pull it out and go do what I want to do. With Robinhood, I can't remember, a buddy of mine used Robinhood, and it took him days to get his money. It was like you got to wait days before you can actually access your gain. So I'm not even sure why they use Robinhood. That's why I'm more suspicious of it. I feel more suspicious of it.
It's funny because I was invited by a friend to join Robinhood, and that is what I use. And I guess I don't see the complication because I haven't sold or tried to put it back into my bank account yet to recognize the difficulty.
But I mean, the platform's simple. The platform's very easy to use, and it's cool. You can buy and you can sell. But there's other tangibles that Robinhood doesn't have: the graphs and the charts, the back information, all of the stuff that Thinkorswim has. Really good. All the gammas, all of the gammas, thetas, all of the Greeks are there, and the volume is there. There's so many things that Robinhood kind of leaves out.
Now, I
In
have a question. If you're actually trading to, I guess, get your money in and out, because when I learned about stocks, what little I know, because I'm just barely getting into it, is
mm,
when you invest, you're not necessarily wanting to invest to gain immediately, but you want to keep it in there for a while. My goal is to, 5, 10 years. That's why I guess I
yeah,
haven't. But I do see the
yeah,
numbers go up and down on a daily, and I do worry as to, hey, is this gonna do? But I've been informed, if you trust in
yeah. If you
the
got trust in the
product you're
product, trucking in the
investing in,
stock, let
when
it
it
go.
drops,
Yeah, you
you
have to.
still invest, because
Yeah, just
eventually you're
hold it.
hoping that it'll come up. But
Yeah.
one of the questions that we have is this a good time to invest? And if Robinhood is not for taking money out, if it is to just keep it in there to invest, now is that something still, would they not be recommended? Because it's the
No, it's
only
cool.
asset I do have.
I'm not anti Robinhood. I think any platform that accesses you to invest or trade, use it. If use it and you get good at what you like and what you want, any of those platforms are good. Me personally, I just like E-Trade or Thinkorswim. Now, the difference between investing in a long-term long game versus trading, they both have their pros and cons. So, your long game investment, that's what's investing. You're not trading stocks if you don't actually trade them. You're investing in stocks when you let it sit and mature. That's what we're trying to do. A lot of people, I'm buying Apple and I'm gonna keep it forever and just accumulate and accumulate and accumulate. Some people try to the best way to actually invest is in a stock that provides dividends, a
Right.
dividend stock. A dividend stock is what's going to actually cut you a quarterly check or a yearly check out of the
Mm.
dividends from that stock. Some stocks don't offer dividends, some stocks do. For people like me and my little crew, we like day trading. I like to put my money in and get my money out. I don't want no long term. I'm not interested in it super long term right now. I have long term stock that my grandmother bought us way back in the day. I have MetLife stock. We have a couple other different shell and things like that that've been around. Shit, they're older than me now. Some of these stocks that I have in my family. um, but I appreciate the art of buying 10 contracts at a low price and letting them grow. And I'm out of here. I'm out of here today or tomorrow. I'll stay in for as long as, because with options you have contracts that expire when you can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah,
Now we can.
Can you hear me?
Now
yeah,
we
yeah,
can.
but
Oh no, okay. My headphones died, so I had to switch to just to regular. Um,
You got them
the difference,
Raycons.
yeah, I got them Raycons. They work. They
Turn
work.
up. Get them
They
Raycons, y'all.
work.
Invest in
Shout out to
black. Get
Ray.
them
Shout out to
Raycons.
Ray. Shout out to that whole
Turn
clique
up.
over there, Lamar. Um, Now I think what I was trying to say was with trading, there's the expiration date. You can do it for however weeks out, months out. Some stocks trade every single, you know, their expiration date is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's SPY. SPY is one of the only ones that trades. Their expirations are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Everybody else is usually is only on Friday. The expiration date is only on Friday. So I personally like to trade on Friday specifically. That's my favorite trade day. Is today, Friday. It's to me, I think it's when the most gains and the best gains can be made in a day is on Friday. For
Well,
me.
thank
Now
you so much
you
for spending your time with us during your trade time. We appreciate you.
nah,
Thank you.
yeah, it's all to the good. We're not hurting for anything, so we're chilling.
Word.
um um Investing in a stock is different because you're at the whim. You have to be patient. And again, with this whole GameStop thing, if people sold their GameStop stock out of panic, that's a bad. You shouldn't be in the game anyway. You hold it if you believe in the stock. You hold it when it tanks, and you hold it so it comes back up and goes where you want. Now, if you own stock while it's tanking and you know your stock is crumbling and your value is crumbling, what you're supposed to be doing is go over to the options now and put puts. And you're now going to buy puts against the own stock that you buy, that you own.
So while you're losing value in your stock, you're actually earning money in putting puts. And I think this is what they did. Actually, this is why I think it's higher up than what people think. Because what they did was, as the stock was being shorted and it was dropping down, they would go over into the options, and now we're buying puts, and the puts are gaining big bread because the stock is dropping so much. And that's what people who own stock have that option to keep their money or make money off of their stock value losing
What
stock value.
what's a put?
Okay, you have a call and a put in the options market. A put is the option version of a short. A put is you have a put option and you have a call option. Basically, what you're saying is, when I want to trade an option, I think that GameStop is now, since it's gone all the way down and it's at 50 something, I think it's going to come back up. So I'm about to go into the options and I'm going to find me the right price call. And a call is your speculation. You're speculating that it's going to go back up. Right? Now, you may not have the whole money. You don't want to buy. Yes.
Why would you think that it would go back up when on January 12th it was at $20? It had gone up to 500 practically, and now it's down to about
Say like
56.
50 something. Say 50
But it's
something.
still up from 20 where it was.
Yeah,
So why would it still
absolutely.
go back up from
I was just
here?
using that as an example. It could go up or down. Me personally, I do both. I do both all the time. I put a put and I put a call all the time. I never do one without the other. So either way it goes, I'm going to be making money somewhere. And the place that I don't make money, I could just sell off real quick and retain some of my money. So let's just say we're at 100. Let's just say where we're at now. We're at $50. All right. I'll put $5 away from that. At $45, I'll put a put, and then I'll put a call at $55. So I'm $5 above and I'm $5 below. Whichever way it goes, I'm going to be making some gain. And if really we want at least 300% gain is what you really want in options. That way it covers the money you put in and doubles the money. It covers all your bets. So if I spend $20 here and $20 there, I've got $20 on my put and $20 on my call. If I get a 300% gain in a call, that means I made $60. Now I've got $80. I covered my put investment, so now I can just sell that off or lose it. And now I'm in the gain over here. So this is how I judge it. This is how I do it. I never go in without covering my back, because you really don't know. You could say, hey, it's going down, and it's been going down for days and going down for days, and today is the day that it starts going up. Or today is the day it goes sideways. It doesn't go up or down. That's the worst. The worst day is when it doesn't go up or down. When it does this, sideways. And that just means you're losing money all day, because there's a thing called time decay. Time decay in options is, as long as the clock is turning, you're slowly losing money, constantly. Slowly losing money on your option. That's why you want to be as close in the money or in the money as possible. Right? So this is how, I'm giving you a little bit of my fucking science here, right? It's me and my boy. My boy Eric's probably like, Ed, shut the fuck up. Calls and puts work best for me, unless you have a tip. You really know what's going on and you really studied it. You know for a fact it's going up at this time, which there's some stocks I know for a fact. First thing at 6:30 in the morning, it's going to move about $4 up. By 9:30, it drops. I know that there's specific stocks that do this every day. Every day at opening, 6:30, it moves up. Every day it has a jump. Every day. So if you can get in and catch that jump, you better be out in 15 minutes, because it's about to tank. And then it's going to do whatever it's going to do. You have to find that stock for you. That's why somebody found GameStop. I've never traded GameStop. I do SPY, I do Shopify, I do Bank of America, Wells Fargo. I do a bunch of different, stocks. So it's what you find. You have to find that stock that you studied and you work on, you watched, learn these graphs and learn these charts. You have to go back time. It's not something you can just jump in. If you do just jump in, you better use the up and down technique. You need to use the up and down technique so that you're covered. It's a double investment, you're spending double the money than just saying, hey, I think it's going up, I'm about to spend this much on that. You need to do double. That way, whichever way it goes, you're in the process. The worst scenario again is it going sideways. Now you're losing money on both. So as you start to gain here, you see, okay, I'm going to take these here. I'm going to sell that off. I invested $10, but now my value is down to 7 or 5. Here, let me sell that off and retain my $5. So I'm only out $5, but I've gained 30, 40, 50, $60 on my call or over here. So this is where my gain is. I got my gain here. Took a little loss over there, but I retained some of it. I didn't lose it all. I got some of it back into my pot.
Word.
I'm going to take my gains, and now I'm out. I'm out now, and I start all over the next day, or I start all over the next time. Take your gain and get out. That's up to you. That's just how I choose to do it, and my clique and crew we roll like that. Some people stay in longer. Some people go 2-3 weeks out. Some people buy options where, the expiration date is a month away. You spend more money that way, but you actually have more chance of making your gain, because depending on what stock you're doing, there's a lot of volatility. The difference between investing and trading is volatility. When you're investing and you want your investment to grow, you don't want volatility. You want a stock that doesn't do a lot of this up and down. You want a stock that does kind of a steady going up and creeping. That's what you want. But when you're trading options and you're trying to day trade and you're trying to get in and get out, you want a lot of volatility. You want it to move $10 up and you want it to move $10 back down. You want it to move another $10 up. You want it to be all over the place in a day so that you can get that money every time it makes that move. You can get your money on your call. Going up. Okay, it's stalled. Okay, sell my stuff. Put, here we go. Let's get that money. Stop, let's go.
Now,
You can do it multiple times.
when you're
Yeah.
investing,
Mm-hmm.
how do you know when to sell?
Shoot, when you've got a major gain, let's say when to sell, when you've reached the amount of money that you feel like you earned, like
So it's
again, like right now,
to an
if you go buy
individual.
a GameStop, let's just say we buy a GameStop stock, one share, which isn't enough to make money, but let's just say you buy one share at $50, and you sit back, and all of a sudden, like right now, you said, right, it went all the way up to $300 something dollars. Right? It was at $300 something dollars. If you bought the GameStop at $50, would you sell it when it got to 350, or would you keep it?
Sounds ideal.
That's your choice.
Right,
You know,
exactly. So, like, how do you know to make that right or wrong decision?
it's
So,
up to you. It's your money.
if
Your
I sold
gut.
it at 350 and it was 500 the next day, I might not be happy with my decision.
No, you won't be happy, but you made 400% gain from $50 to $350. 500% gain for I don't know how many. That's a lot of percent gain. It was 1, 2,
But
3,
then
4.
there's
It's like 500%.
there's stocks like Apple and Tesla that seems to
Apple stuff, you
continue.
don't sell it ever, period. You just don't sell it.
Okay.
There's no reason. You know what I mean?
Now, if you're not
But for
selling, how
people
are
like
you
me and
making?
you,
How are you spending? Like what?
oh, I mean, you're gonna sell.
Because
You're
they
gonna
don't
sell
pay
it eventually.
dividends either. Tesla
Yeah,
and
well,
Apple,
you're
they
gonna
don't pay
sell it eventually.
dividends on
They,
their stuff, but they put their money back into theirs to continue to grow.
I mean, if you don't have a whole bunch of money, you can't really make a lot of money in Apple and Google and Amazon. You have to have a lot of shares for it to actually matter. You can't just have one share. The people who actually make money, they have hundreds of shares. Hundreds of shares. So when the price gets to $3,000, a share, you actually are making some money. You know what I mean? Some people have a lot of shares. So everyday people like me and you and other people who don't have 30, 40, 50 grand to just throw at shares. The options game is where you're kind of winning. The options is where you have a chance to build money with little money. You could turn a little bit into a little bit more. I'm not even going to say a lot. The option's there to make a lot. So you can turn a little bit into a little bit more. And that little bit more into a little bit more until you're on your way. There's no long term. It's cash. You can do a cash account. So you don't have to even have it connected to a bank account at risk of they're going to go in there and take all my money if I make a mistake. You can do a cash account. You can put as much money as you you got on it, and that's how much you're gonna be able to trade with. You're not gonna be able to trade with no more because you ain't got no more. So you're not gonna go into debt. The only thing you're gonna be able to trade with is what you got on your cash account. That's it. So this is for people who are not in the game. This is why I try and talk to about, especially Black folks and people who are poor, about use that little bit of money that y'all got and try it. You know, try it. You're gambling every time you buy a lottery ticket. You get 5 quick picks a month. That's your trade money. You know, you eat out 2, 3, 4 times a week or a month. That's your trade money. You know, the little things that we take for granted because it isn't very expensive. That's actually trade money. You could buy an option for $2. You could buy 10 contracts, and now you got $20 at 10 contracts. That $2 contract appreciate to $10. You just went from $2 to $10, and you got 10 contracts. That's your money, and you did it with a $2 contract. A $2 contract. It don't take thousands to do this, but it does take some patience in learning how these things work, learning about your Greeks, learning about your volumes, learning about how the graph works, finding your stock that you want to trade, and learning how it acts. How do the people who are trading that stock act? How do they act on Monday through Friday? What does this stock do from Monday through Friday? You know, that's where you have to do your own education and start actually finding what you're going to start trading. Ultimately, the more you know and the more you educate yourself on it, the better you'll have trades. It's all about eliminating risk. The biggest part about it is try and eliminate your risk. The least amount of risk you have, the better. Period. No one can predict where it's going to go up or go down. If you do predict it, you got lucky that you were right this time. You're not going to be right every time. Most of the time, you're going to be wrong. What you think is about to happen, not going to happen. So you have to be prepared. That's why I cover my back. Call me put. You know, I'm giving y'all free game here. I'm telling you, my boy Eric's probably on the phone right now, like,
Like,
but
absolutely,
that's the
Erica. I
difference.
don't
You
want
know
to
what I'm
learn
saying?
that.
That's the difference. I implore everyone to try and get into the options game. Try and get into the options
So
game. Set just a little bit of money aside and start seeing what that is. Not everybody has a lot of money to buy stock. Even if you have enough money to buy one stock's not enough. One's not enough to make you no real money. I bought one Apple stock. What's that gonna do?
I got one Apple stock.
You need about 20 more. You know, you need quite a bit more to actually do it in the stock. When you own stock, you need shares, a lot of shares to make real
That's
money.
another thing I wanted to ask you is like when you go into, depending on the price of those shares, like what is a good amount? So you're saying in the hundreds, you would want to be in the hundreds, but what if they're like $5 stocks? I can understand if you're into like 300, 500 stocks and they're going up
Yeah.
50, 100,
Man, you want as many as you can afford. You can start at just one, and you end up with 2, end up with 5, end up with 10. Start with one. I would say
So for a
definitely
beginner,
you
like
got to
my
start somewhere.
brother-in-law, Mark, would you say that this is a good time for him to start
Anytime's a good
investing,
time.
getting into?
Anytime is a good time. Every
Anytime is a
time
good
is a
time.
good time. Yeah. Let me tell you, it's like this. Less than, like, this is a statistic I heard. I don't know if it's true anymore, though. But honestly, less than 5% of Americans are actually online still. This is true. Only through your phone. But people are actually not using online stuff still. They're still doing very little. Not everybody has a computer, and not everybody has Wi-Fi and computers in their homes.
What was that number? 5%?
It's like 5%. 5% are still less than 5%. That's not what I meant to say. Are using trading tools and apps. Less than 5% are using these tools, online tools, to
Okay.
trade. That's what I meant. Not just they don't have computers. It's actually using online to do trading. Less than 5% of Americans are into trading, are actually
I see
into
that.
trading. That's a very
I do
small
it on my
number.
phone.
a very small number of people that are in trading. So what you have to understand is there's billions and billions of dollars in the market, and nobody's there. That's why the rich continue to get rich and stay rich, because nobody's in there with them. There's nobody there to actually do the trading. You would still think there's billions of people, there's millions of people trading. There's far less people trading than you think. It's the same rich hedge fund people that are getting bread, and the handful of options. Options is like the stepchild to stocks. It's the small little, like, oh, you guys are the off-brand kind of day traders. You know, they take you kind of as a joke. You know, you're really real. You're really buying stock. But this GameStop situation will let you know that the everyday day trader is starting to make hedge fund people uncomfortable. You know, the ability to make money outside of their control, they don't like that. And that's why I implore every single person, you know, instead of getting your Popeye's chicken sandwich, go buy you an option.
How you know I had Popeyes yesterday?
Because it's black. You know you had that chicken sandwich.
I did. I ain't lying.
I have a question.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Dividends. I have a
Mind
question
your
on
business.
dividends. Now, I'm questioning it because I'm seeing it on my Robinhood. It's saying it's going to be paying me some dividend, like $15, $20 on a stock that I purchased that had lost money. This is the only brand that I actually, where the money from where I purchased has dropped, but they're still paying me dividends. Now, from what I've read and understand is that is in excess to what they have made during that quarter.
Yeah.
After they paid all their bills, they distribute to their shareholders. Now, if I lost, how am I being paid? And like, how does that work?
Yeah, I probably have to look into the dividends a little more. I'm not super into that. I know, like I said, my family owns a lot of stock from way back in the day that pays dividends, like MetLife and a couple other things. I personally, I haven't got into any dividends. I like just trading options so much that I kind of just focus on that. So I don't really understand like how dividends pay out all the way and when they pay out per the quarter, whether there's a loss or not. I really don't even understand all of that stuff quite yet, because I haven't invested in any dividend stocks. So I'm really more focused just kind of on the options game. I kind of stay in the options game.
Would you recommend, now that so many people are home these days, that, you know, teenagers involved in investing?
Well, that's under the supervision of their parents. Why not? You know what I mean? I mean, I have a buddy, my best friend is already teaching his children, his two girls. He's got twin girls, and they're really quite good at it. Ameritrade, Thinkorswim offers you a thing called play money. When you open your account, they give you play money. And you can, like, it's like Monopoly money. You can practice with their play money. He's got them doing that and learning on that. I would advise that. Now, I would have parental supervision up until 18 before you start unleashing them on actually making money. You know, it's not like a job. You know, you can make a shit ton of money, and you could either lose it all at the same time if you're not really careful. So it's not like a teenage job where it's like, oh, I went and I did my hours and I'm gonna get me a check and this is my money. If you've got your child in a platform where they can make thousands upon thousands of dollars, there's also going to be some taxes involved. So you do have to pay taxes on your gains. So I would advise teaching them as young as possible. As young as possible. Start teaching your kids about options and stocks, period. You know, they're not really going to be buying stocks, but we can definitely start understanding how to understand the Greeks and understand volume and understand how to trade options. I think it would be really smart. It's there's absolutely nobody black in there hardly.
Word.
The atmosphere over the last 2 years has been the most, where there's so many black people talking about, man, we got to trade options. It's like the new hip thing, which is awesome. It's about time that this is one of the first good new hip things.
Word.
Usually new hip things are trash. Is, you know, for black people and you know, whatever other, you know, this is probably one of the best new hip things that people should be involved in. Now, again, it's not like Vegas. It's not by chance. You know, you could throw your money in there and you could lose it all if you don't do some type of homework. So I'm not just saying get in there and pick anything and do anything, because one, you're going to learn that strike prices are not always cheap. That's the thing with GameStop right now. Not everybody else can get in there. Me and you and other people who don't have thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, I'm not saying none of us don't. I think we all have thousands and thousands of dollars, but not to invest in a strike price. So I start sticking with strike prices that are $20 and lower. If I'm buying strike prices at $100 and I'm buying $100 puts or whatever, I know for a fact what it's doing. Other than that, I'm staying low and buying a lot of contracts. I'd rather spend cheap money on a cheap option and buy a lot of contracts, because when I take that $2 or $5 and it goes to 10, 15, or 20, and I have 30 contracts, now we're talking. You know, now we're talking. So this is just the game I like to play. You know, and I think that that's a good move for everyone. Everyone should try and investigate it. You know, you got nothing to lose other than the money on your Popeye chicken sandwich. You know,
How much time
everything
do you
you
put
buy,
in?
you know, go
How
ahead.
much time do you put in the mornings? Investing your time into day trading.
You know, we get up around 5:30, 5:45. Look at the pre-market, see what the pre-market is saying, see what's going on. Usually the night before, we'll find what we're gonna do, who we're gonna mess with, see what they're doing in the pre-market, try and place our orders before the market opens at 6:30, so that the orders get filled at exactly when the market opens. Usually you'll get them for a really cheap price, and then the volume fills up and it kicks up the volume of the money. So there's some small little tricks. You know, there's small little tricks that I've learned, and I have a great partner. I have a great teacher, one of my best friends, and he's awesome. And it's been really cool. And again, sometimes you don't make a lot of money, and sometimes you lose money. Sometimes it goes sideways. That's your nightmare scenario. The nightmare scenario is the stock just does this, and it just creeps like a heart, like a flat line across the screen. That's the worst day you want to have, you know. So it depends on what you find and what you're looking for. If me personally, it's great when you get the money that you were looking for and you're out by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Word.
You know, sometimes you're in all day. Sometimes you're in all the way, and you know it just don't reach where you needed to go or what you needed to do. You know, sometimes you cut your losses, and we'll see you next week, or we'll see you tomorrow. You know, sometimes you buy on a Monday, it expires on a Friday, and you've got all week to decide when you want it. You know, when it makes its hit and when it doesn't. You know, sometimes the worst is it makes all the money in the aftermarket, in the pre-market, and then, or it makes all the money you want in the aftermarket. After the market closes at 1, it goes through an aftermarket process.
Right.
It could shoot up like crazy, and you're looking at your money like, I'm about to make so much money in the morning, and then the pre-market, it all disappears.
I've made that mistake a couple times.
You see what I'm saying? So you start learning, do I even buy before the market closes? Some people buy. I'm about to buy it at 12:55 right before the market closes, and then I'm gonna let the pre-market do its thing. I'm gonna let the aftermarket. That's a risk. It's also a win sometimes. I've won big like that sometimes. I've gotten in, kept it overnight, and when I came back that next morning in the pre-market, it was out of here. I was so happy, and it's gone the reverse for me sometimes too. I've left it in the market, looked at it in the aftermarket. Man, we're gonna be paid. And come pre-market 5:30, when I wake up and I'm looking at the pre-market, counting into 6:30, it's gone, and there's no way for you to sell it until the market opens. So it's, you know, it's a win some, lose some situation. It's not, you know, it's a practice. Most definitely, it's a practice. You know, you can try and be scientific with it, and that's your due diligence on paying attention to, you know, the stock that you want to do. Of course, you want to listen to all types of stuff. The GameStop thing, everybody rushed in. Oh man, I'm about to go get in on GameStop. But then when you get there to buy the option, the actual strike price is astronomical right now. Astronomical. You're not buying any options on GameStop. Astronomical. Now, if you got the bread, you want to spend 20K, you got it like that, go for it. Sure. But I'm talking to people, just regular folks. This is just us here. You know, this is just us. You know, we started our account with just a few $100s, and we've still got that same few $100s plus some. We built on that. You know, we've built on just that few $100. We've built on it. We haven't ever gone down to zero. We've gotten
Word.
close. And we've built and built and built, and we've continued to just keep building on it, building on it, building on it. Take your time, you know, and you'll figure it out. Trust, but you definitely need to get in. Start checking it out. There's a lot of free online stuff. You know, you can go to YouTube and you can find 1,000 videos to get you started on understanding options. Very simple. You can learn all the different trading concepts. You can do all that stuff by yourself. Get in Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, use the play money to practice, and this will get you started. You know, don't be scared, you know, because I'm telling you, you throw your money away daily on food, entertainment, blah, 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 blah. So use that same little bit of money and just put it right over there. You're not investing the whole bank. You're not going to lose your stuff. Open a cash account. You don't need to get a margin account. Open a cash account, and you're safe. You're at no risk of them you know, you make a bad move and all of a sudden you owe thousands of dollars. There's no risk of that. You know, there's no risk of that. Now, there is a risk if you end up in the money and you don't sell the money. That's the difference between options. All right. Options, I'm going to tell you this. Options is once you're in the money, you cannot keep it past that expiration date. This is why they call it day trading. All right. So the expiration date, let's say, is today. I've got money and it made it in the money. In the money means you're above or below where you say you are. Right? There's going to be two spots there. When you got puts on this side, the in the money is on the bottom. When you got calls on this side, the in the money is on this side. So you've got in the money on two separate sides. If you're anywhere in there at the end of closing day, you owe the full amount of the stock. Okay? So let's say we're in Google, which I don't even know how much Google is right now. It's $1,000+ or more, right? If you buy Google stock or you buy a Google option and Alphabet, and somehow luckily you'll end up in the money. If you're in the money by the end of close, you have to pay for the whole stock. That's why you sell. So that now I don't have to actually buy the whole stock. I can just take my gain. Otherwise, they'll be looking for you because options is basically there for people who can't afford to buy stocks. So the option is there for you to make money in the market and give you a chance to own stock, to be able to make money, to then buy stock. So if you end up in the money in an option, you are obligated to buy the whole share. To buy the whole share if you're in the money. So this is why we day trade, because you don't want to hold the money and then be subject to actually having to buy the whole share if you get caught in the money by closing. And this is after expiration. So this is at expiration, not just by closing any day. It's on expiration day. So if you expire on Friday today, you're in the money, expire on Friday, and you keep it in there, that means you want to buy the whole share instead of just take your gain. That's why by the end of contract, when your contract expiration is, that's why you got to sell it then, so that you're not buying the whole share and you're just taking your gains now, putting it back in your pot, and then you can start trading again when it comes back. Otherwise, you're buying shares, because that's what options really is. It's your opportunity to buy a share. And when you're in the money, now you have the money to buy a full share. They're going to be looking for you to buy the full share. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anyone in the chat have any questions for Ed? Eric wants to know, are you on Clubhouse?
I see a couple.
Ed, are you on Clubhouse?
I've seen some people. Am I on Clubhouse?
Yeah.
No, I haven't got the. Is that new? That's new, like chat room.
Yes, kind of. So that there's rooms on there that would be similar to this. We will be in there. Then you would have someone that has information, and they would share the information with the room. Then people would chime in and ask questions and stuff like that. I've said it on a couple of few Clubhouse conversations that were beneficial. So it's like to hear people hear you talk the way you talk. Word. Well, if you want to
I'm
join, I
just a
got an extra.
regular dude. Like again, I'm just a regular dude, man. I'm trying to. I got hip to it again. My buddy hit me to it several years ago. But I guess it's been about 4 years now. My buddy hit me to it, and he was like, "Yo, I think I found something that I think this is some cool stuff." And he
Word.
came back at me, and it's some cool stuff. It really is. It gives everybody options, especially right now, man. In these times, so many people are losing their jobs. This whole industry's gone. It's gone.
What industry?
The dance industry.
Oh, the industry. Word.
Dancers are a wrap in LA. It's a wrap.
Wow.
Period.
Damn. Just like that.
It's a wrap. Every dance studio hasn't been open for almost a full year now.
Wow.
Everybody who was a teacher, there's not been an audition, no gigs. Like everybody who was eating off of that whole industry, it is a wrap. And I don't see it recovering hella fast because now you've got a whole industry of people in debt.
Wow.
So it isn't going to just recover quick. You're not just going to recover, oh, we're back to taking classes, or we're back to teaching, or we're back to this, or we're back to that. Like, you're getting evicted. Musicians, the industry, musicians, session musicians, band members, you name it. You name it. The industry has been, beat up. So these are the things that will help you. This is it right here. When you're making money while you sleep, this is it. When they come talk about it, you need to make money while you sleeping. This is it.
Word.
This is it. This is
kind of like a best kept secret.
It is a best kept secret, but because a lot of people are scared because you hear, oh man, this nigga lost all his money. Oh, they jumping out the window. Hedge fund, man, they jumping out the window. They done lost millions. So people are scared because when you get in, you'll throw $20 in and this shit'll disappear in 5 minutes. You'll buy an option and be like, oh, I feel like it's going up, and that shit goes straight down and all your money gone. You have no more value, and it'll shake you quick.
Word.
You see your money disappear like that. It'll shake you. And so it's kind of a fearful place if you don't do your homework before you start getting in there. You got to do some homework and start getting familiar before you start putting your money down. That's like somebody who, you don't play craps. You don't play craps, but you go to Vegas and you're like, hey, I'm about to do this. Give me this. And you just throw it. That's the same thing. You're just throwing craps. But it's the guy who understands the game on how to use the hard ways, how to use the field, how to play the numbers, how to do this, what's the difference between don't pass and come? What's the difference between these two things? It's that guy who wins at the crap table. Not the person who just grabs the dice and be like, okay, yeah, woo. That guy don't lose. That guy doesn't really make as much money. He's using his luck only versus a strategy. The person that uses the hard ways and this and that and the other, a person who knows how to manipulate, pull their money off, hold that right there. I'm going to go to this right here. I'm going to do this right there. That's the person who wins a little bit more because he has a strategy and knows how to play that game. It's the same with options. You have to get in and you have to start learning how to play that game before you think you're about to make it. Anybody can get lucky. Anybody can make a bunch of money and anybody can lose a bunch of money. Luck is, chance is real in the options game because no one can predict what the market's going to do, period. If you predicted it correctly, you got lucky this time that you were right.
All right.
It's not normal that you're right.
It's like the perfect transition. Speaking of strategy, speaking of options, speaking of coming up with a plan, speaking of luck. Last topic before we got out of here, Mr. Ed, because we're coming up on the 2-hour mark, and we do appreciate having you here. This weekend is Super Bowl Sunday, so any predictions of what's going down this Super Bowl Sunday?
Can't predict who's going to win, but I'm actually rooting. I'm rooting for Tom Brady. I'm rooting for Tampa Bay. I'm rooting for Tampa Bay. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean? We'll have to see if my homie is healthy. Because if he is healthy, then he's a problem. He's one of the best quarterbacks. Period.
You talking about Mahomes?
Young.
Mahomes with the
Yeah,
trollop.
yeah,
He be
yeah.
trolloping.
He's fresh. You know what I
That
mean?
boy's
But
dope.
I like goat stories. I like people who are dope all the time. I appreciate that. I appreciate that he's old as hell and
I
he's there.
know.
I appreciate that y'all
Killing.
counted him out, traded him from the team that he made the
That's
best. Y'all
crazy.
kicked him off the team. He came to Tampa Bay. Everybody laughed at him. His homie came and joined him, and then they're back in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. I like
I,
that type of stuff.
I like
You
the
know?
Cinderella of it also.
Yeah, I like it. So
I don't like going
to
against
see him.
Andy Reid though, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, and I rooted for KC last year because, like, I'm a Kelsey and I'm a Mahomes fan, you know, and I rooted for KC last year. I was glad that they did what they did last year. This year, I'd like to see Tom put another one on the finger, shut everybody up.
Word.
7.
You know, I like that type of stuff. I like that type of stuff.
That'd be so dope.
I think so. You know, why not? Why not? Y'all counted him out. He can't run. He's slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he shouldn't even be there no more, and he's there. So
But
He's
he's
there.
My hat's off to him. You know, he's going against a kid who run crazy, throw crazy.
Yeah. Let's be honest. He already won just making it to the Super Bowl in my eyes.
As far as like,
It's like,
yeah,
like the naysayers, like he did it. He in the Super Bowl.
I remember at the top of the season, and he wasn't doing that good, and everybody
they was clowning
him really bad.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, they were clowning him really bad. So to see him here, come on, y'all, you gotta like that. You gotta like that. You know, he's a phenomenal great. He's a GOAT. He's a Kobe. He's a Jordan.
That's crazy.
He's a that guy in the sport. He's that guy in the sport. So don't hate on him. Just root for him.
Absolutely.
Root for him. So I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for Tampa Bay this year. I ain't never been a Bucs fan. Never.
I don't think anyone has. I don't know.
Nobody likes him. Now everybody likes him because of who's there. And I appreciate it.
It's funny how that happens.
Yeah.
I think it's also funny how when I ask people, because people be like, I hate Tom Brady. And I'll be like, why? It's a bad, he cheats. And I was like, no, you don't like him because he always wins. Like you subconsciously are just tapped in. You have to hate what's great. And you know what I'm saying? Because anytime I ask them for an explanation of why they hate him, it's never he slapped my mom, he flattened my tires.
It was deflate game.
Yeah, to me, I don't get that kind of stuff. Like when they say baseball players cheat because they do steroids. Like I can do steroids, I still can't win a game. You can give me a flattened ball, give me a smaller ball, I'm still gonna lose. They gonna be like, what did y'all do to Cheese? Did y'all let
they don't like him because he has it all. Like, where does he lack? He's got the family, he's got the wife, he's got the careers, he's got the looks, he's got what?
That's why they hate him. That's why they hate him.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why they hate him. The hate was great.
No, I'm just rooting for him mostly because the Patriots got rid of him. I just think that they shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? They thought Cam Newton was going to be a way better situation than Tom.
Oh, that became terrible.
That hasn't quite panned out quite yet. I'm not going to count Cam out because Cam is an incredibly talented person. Cam's talented. But he may not just have found it. He may find he's got Belichick. They may find it. It may work. I think Cam wasn't focused on football these last few years. He got injured, and then when you start getting involved in social justice and social issues, it affects your gameplay. I think it does. I think it does. I think especially for football players, it's a little bit different for baseball and basketball. Football's
somebody didn't like that comment.
I know.
Yeah. Somebody
get him out of here.
Can y'all hear me?
Turn up.
I can't hear
Yes.
you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, so let's do this. Let's do this. In closing.
No, I can't hear.
Oh, it's all good. So in closing, Ed, if anything you want to share with anyone, just last words before we get out of here. As we wait patiently. Did he fall on the ground?
He disappeared.
He fell on the ground. He's laying on the floor right now. help me.
The stock market went this way. And I wanted to say a joke so bad in the middle of that. I'd be the dumb slave talking crap doing something intelligent. When he
Man,
go,
I feel like I should have taken like 101 investment 101 before I came onto this show, because
Heck yeah, because even some of that stuff, I still didn't know what he's talking about.
having conversation with them on the outside, asking what short. I think it's the only thing I can think of right now, but
Word.
yeah, there's a lot of terms that he was saying. I felt like as he was explaining, I was starting to slowly understand a little bit here and there, but
Word.
yeah, I'm definitely a
just because you Asian.
I would pretend I'm okay. And then you get the puts, and then you get the then you get the stops. Okay, well that makes turn up. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So as soon as I log off, I'm be like, what is the option again? Like
exactly, and like, is it too much to ask? Like, what is your limit on this day? Like, what is your daily limit to say? If you're done by 8:30, you must have hit that number. Like, is it 500? Is it 1,000? What is it for you to say? Okay, I'm done for the day. Let me go enjoy, relax. That would be great way of. So maybe I think I will delve a little more into it. But this man I do want to talk to just to get a more education.
Education.
I'm glad
I can hear y'all, but I can't see myself.
Okay, well, no, you are black as hell.
It's all good. I am black as hell. I'm black as black can be, and I love it.
Turn up.
Right on.
Right now, we're just.
Man, I really appreciate y'all.
Thank you, brother.
Talk this madness.
Well, because I definitely want to
get the black history, but
yeah, it's all good. So I definitely want to have you back so we can dive into a little bit of some Black history, especially if we met you before this month ends, to make it significant. But we do appreciate you hanging out with us this morning. Thank you so much. You educated us a lot, gave us a lot of insight, so we appreciate you.
All three of you guys. Thank you so much for your time.
I'm Malcolm X.
Thank you very much. I would very much like to pick your brain at another time off air.
Hey Quay, give her my contacts, and we'll just holler on the phone. Let's just
got you.
Contacts. Q.
Got you.
You can share that.
Thank you, sir.
Right? And to all your listeners, you had a lot of good people asking questions too. I saw all the little questions popping up, Quay.
Word.
You have this cool, man. You got some people who are actually engaging. I like this Quay. You guys are dope. Thanks for having me involved.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Ed.
All right, I'm
about
to go look at the market right now and see what.
Get your money.
The only market I'm going to is the grocery store.
Yeah, but you're looking for Club Ralph's. You ain't going to buy no groceries, though.
Hey, brother. Hey, mind your business.
He get dressed up, go to Whole Foods. Like,
you know what I'm saying? He get a haircut.
Camille be like,
going to Whole Foods.
Camille be like, why you in a suit? I'm in a suit. I be Dapper Dan in that mug.
Most deaf.
Where the bananas at?
All right.
Hey, that was racist.
And I'll holler next
time. All right,
time.
Ed, peace.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for joining.
Right on.
Cheese, KK, you guys want to say your goodbyes to the crowd before we get out of here?
Love, peace, and happiness.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Greatly appreciate it. Enjoy the Super Bowl this Sunday. Please keep your masks on to stay safe.
Awesome. Thank you guys once again for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Feel free at any time to please share this link with any of your friends. If anybody else wants to sit in on this Friday morning with us, they're more than welcome. They're more than invited. They can catch it on YouTube. They can catch it on DJUnique.com. They can catch it on Facebook. And also, if you guys want to hear this back, you can play it on YouTube, and you can also play it on DJUnique.com. So it'll be there. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.
Real quick, DJ, quick. I'm sorry.
I don't understand when I be like, say your last word.
Someone want to just say hi real quick.
If it's a sock again, ladies and gentlemen, see you.